The coin market cap is used to summarize everything that is said in this movie. Also, Don and #039, forget to like and subscribe to my station to get more XRP news and news about cryptocurrencies in general. Look at this now. Even though the SEC warned against it, the US House passes a crypto bill. A bill that tries to set up a new legal system for digital currencies was passed by the US House of Representatives. From the US Securities and Exchange Commission that it could lead to new financial risks. The Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, which was put forward by Republicans, was passed with votes from both parties. However, it is not certain that the plan will be looked at by the Senate. People in the U.S. Congress who support the bill say that it will help the company grow and make the regulatory landscape clearer. The House of Representatives said it was okay. It was said by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission that it is likely to accept applications for spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds. The market got a huge bump from this. But in a statement, Gary Gensler, chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, said that the bill and quote, would create new regulatory gaps and undermine decades of precedent regarding the oversight of investment contracts, putting investors and capital markets at an immeasurable risk, end quote. The law was backed by people and groups that support cryptocurrencies as well as trade groups. Both of these groups have long seen Gensler SEC as an obstacle to the general use of digital assets. Gensler thinks that cryptocurrencies should be handled the same way as regular assets. He has given examples of well-known convictions, fraud cases, bankruptcies, and failures. These are some examples that Gensler gave. He said in a statement made on Wednesday that the proposal would mean that investment contracts kept on a blockchain would no longer be considered securities. In this case, owners would not be protected as they should be. Rules about stocks. Gensler was against the plan for more than one reason. One of them was that it let people who made crypto investment contracts say that their products were digital goods that weren't and #039, regulated by the SEC. The agency only had 60 days to fight this claim. As the 119th sitting of the U.S. Congress begins, people who work with digital assets are hoping that stable coins and cryptocurrency markets will soon be up and running. President-elect Donald Trump promised during his campaign to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. A non-profit business group called Stand with Crypto says that in the 2024 elections, 16 pro-crypto senators and 250 pro-crypto members of Congress were chosen. People who support crypto are likely to run the SEC, the Department of Commerce, and other government departments. This will pave the way for a lot of changes to the rules that govern us. But there is still a very important gap. Real legislation needs to be written, backed, and sent to the right House or Senate committee. A national reserve for Bitcoin might be made possible. The SEC and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission might be in charge of certain parts of the business. The three most important things to keep an eye on after the new government takes over are how stablecoins are seen, how they are issued, and how they are used. The two laws that were the main focus of the policy of the last government were passed. One failed their second chamber exams on stablecoins and the other failed theirs on the organization of the digital asset market. Crypto-friendly government initiatives being proposed by the 47th administration, Congress, regulatory bodies, and industry stakeholders will need to be dealt with by all of them working together. The legislature that was just chosen might support crypto. The job is scary for politicians and regulators. Is it possible for Washington to make a single set of rules that promotes growth without stifling new ideas? Will protecting consumers and letting crypto companies come up with new ideas be balanced? In order to answer these questions, we need to do more than just talk about them. The rules that govern cryptocurrency are as disjointed as the blockchain itself. Different sources say that Bitcoin and Ethereum are either stocks under the SEC or commodities under the CFTC. Even less clear categories exist for smaller tokens, which puts Bitcoin companies in a legal bind. For entrepreneurs, the risks are very high. Tokens that are considered securities must be registered and reported in a very specific way. This is not the case for commodities, which are less involved. Progress in other places. Even though the SEC and CFTC need to make it clear what powers they have over the cryptocurrency markets, stablecoin laws may be the first ones put into place because of how popular they are. Markets in Crypto Assets, MiCA, which directly address stablecoins, was the first major country to set up a crypto licensing framework. Republicans and Democrats on the House Financial Services Committee also spoke out in favor of it. Head of the Filecoin Foundation Marta Belcher says that one of the main topics of discussion last year was whether stablecoins should be backed by US dollars 1-to-1. She said that this rule would be more strict than what other businesses have to do. Court papers also show that the regulator and #039's crypto freeze was more of a warning than a ban. What do you think? Is a Bitcoin national reserve a dream or a must? Making a Bitcoin national reserve might be the most bold idea being put forward. Trump and #039's staff say that the plan will keep all of the Bitcoins that the government already owns and add to them to make the country and #039's digital assets stronger. This would make people around the world more confident in the US and #039's ability to lead the cryptocurrency market and make it one of the biggest national investors in Bitcoin. Even if the idea caught on, Treasury, the Federal Reserve, and Congress would have to work together very closely to make it happen. Anything is possible in a world where central banks are trying out digital currencies, even if it doesn't and #039's seem likely. But it and #039's more possible that the new administration will be against passing new laws and in favor of making it clearer where the cryptocurrency industry can work. In the end, politicians move much more slowly than innovators. The problem is that cryptography doesn't and #039's work well with the methods that are already in place. The way Trump is running the country may bring in foreign investment and knowledge, but if there aren't and #039's enough rules, the policies that promise growth could also hurt the market. A Republican from Pennsylvania, Guy Reschenthaler, did, however, recently admit to buying some Bitcoin. The 41-year-old U.S. lawmaker has coins like Ripple XRP, Solana, and Bitcoin. Every single one of these purchases cost between $1,000 and $15,000. Mike Collins, a Republican from Georgia, also said earlier this year that he had bought a ski mask dog. In addition, U.S. Senators Barry Moore and Jeffrey Jackson are among those who have previously talked about big cryptocurrency deals. A story in the Wall Street Journal in 2021 said that 11 members of Congress held cryptocurrencies. 9 of them were members of the House of Representatives. While this is going on, the U.S. Senate will set up a committee whose only job will be to look into digital assets.